Anyone? Marinal, are you here?
Yes.
You keep on coming and going, coming and going. Is there a problem with your internet? What's wrong? Because it's like your name keeps popping up and down, saying Marinal has left the meeting, Marinal has joined. It's like all the time. Is there a problem with internet? No? Okay. Okay, fine. Guys, anyone? Okay, somebody's typing. Guys, anyone remember what we did last week? Come on.
We were looking at the clarity of critical thinking through aspects of truth, clarity, depth.
And did I ask you to do anything at home?
I mean, you sent us an article about the Egyptian. Yes, yeah.
Yes, some critical thinking article that you could read, yeah, and think about. And did anyone read?
Yes.
And how many people read? How many people read?
To be honest, I didn't read all of it. I read like half of it and watched the video on the article. So there's like a 5-minute video.
Yeah,
excellent.
I read some parts as well.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mizba read it. Michaela read it. Ibrahim read it. What about Nini Natrebia? Are you here? Are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you.
That's Rabia. I know you're here. Thank you very much. But I'm asking Nini Natrebia, are you with us? Okay. Did you read the article, Nini? Okay. Okay, guys, what did you think about the article?
It was one-sided, I felt.
Okay.
What else?
Yeah, I agree. It was a bit biased.
Biased in terms, how was it biased? Like why did you think it was biased?
Like, I guess they mentioned a lot of like good qualities about women enrollment, and they didn't mention like the bad side of it, you know?
Okay, good, good.
Also, they treated men like killers, I guess, or murderers, so that was a bit awful.
Good, excellent, excellent. And what about girls? Mizba, what did you think? Because it was more about like a women empowerment kind of article, right? So I would like to ask girls' opinions. What did you think about that?
Yes, so I found that it was generalizing about the male leaders, that they're the problem of the world. And the focus was about showing the positive aspects of women and leaders, women being leaders in society. And I think they were actually trying to compare today, society it's today, but looking in comparison to the history of women leaders. And yeah, it was very opinion based. the writer was trying to push for the positives of women and why she thought it was a good idea to have women in power.
And the author was female, right? Did
That's correct.
anyone pay attention to that? Okay. Okay. What about Michaela? What did you think?
Yeah, similar to what Evers was saying a bit. It was interesting to learn some of the women that ruled throughout history, but yeah, it's kind of saying that kind of men was to blame for the way the world and stuff like that. It seemed a bit feminism now was too far out a bit to me. Instead of having sort of an equal standard.
That's thank you, Michaela. That's where I was heading towards exactly. So, can anyone draw connections? I know that you're all very tech savvy, all of you who are here, and I don't know anyone who's not into social media anymore because it's like no matter how much you hate it, you absolutely have to go use it because it's like it's pretty much it's sort of like the life is making you use Facebook, yeah, because you get all your news from there, you connect to your friends from there, and I absolutely despise it, but still, yeah, I use it, yeah. However, I do notice certain trends from time to time, and I notice certain patterns from time to time. And I want to ask you, do you draw any lines? Do you make any connections and what they are? Anyone who's read the article, do you connect it to something? Do you draw lines? Do you make parallels with what's going on in the world today?
I mean, there's a lot of females which are trying to like get into power status. So I think like those type of articles play a major role in like manipulating our like thinking and perception about the situation.
Okay, good. That's what you think. Anyone else? So just for 1 second, let me clarify, Abdal. So what you're saying is that now there are a lot of women who are trying to get in power, yeah? And those articles are empowering those women, these types of articles.
But not always in a good way, though. That's my point. Like we should be more honest, I think, not like biased towards something and just fighting for it, and that's it.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Ba, come on, you were saying something.
Yes, I found it a little bit contradicting. In paragraph 7, she was mentioning that the qualities Cleopatra showed were selfish and she was a power-hungry leader. But in the opening statement, we're trying to envision that women are, open to being, good leaders, and but that quality in Cleopatra wasn't the case. So they've twisted it to appear in a positive light when it really isn't.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much, Ms. Ba. Excellent point. really, really, really well done that you caught that. But what I'm asking is, do you draw, not just in this article, do you make any connections to what's happening today in the world?
I guess it's just the patriarchy of like society. It's like even there, you still had, despite the women sort of ruling, you still had the men sort of dominating in terms of that, in terms of the political sort of issues that they. I think that's what she was trying to say, and she wants to see more women in there. I don't know if that's what her point was trying to get across. I don't think she got it. Maybe she didn't
Yeah,
see it correctly.
she was basically about saying that women, you know, should be more. We should have more women in power, and that article served exactly that point that she was trying to make, because females make better leaders because of this and this and this and this and this. But the question is, like Abdal said, that, for example, in his opinion, this article is here because, and it's National Geographic's. Okay, we also have to look at that. Who is the let's say, who is publishing it? Who is the publisher? Okay, is it somebody trustworthy? Is it somebody reputable? Is it legitimate? So is it, National Geographic's is a serious publication, right? It's a science and research backed publication. So chances of them lying are very, very low. However, they still do that. And who is their main reader? Who reads National Geographics the most?
If we were to look at it in that sense, I would say that it is pushing, a female is pushing for feminism. So and I think that the people, the audience are male. So yeah, just trying to push for women.
And what kind of audience would male, like what kind of male? Because we can have different types of people, right? We can have a representation of males who are engineers, a computer based interests. Then for car magazines, you have tons of car magazines. Their reader is going to be probably a guy, again, who's very interested in cars. So we have National Geographics. What kind of reader does that have?
I think it's a historical academic, scientist, that type of.
I also read National Geographics. My brother reads National Geographics, but he's a businessman. He's in senior managerial position at Nikon Europe, and he reads National Geographics. Yeah, I read National Geographics, and I am a psychologist, and I am a researcher. Okay, so
what you mean is like people who wants to know what's going around them, maybe?
So what is the thing that I'm trying to get to you guys is that every news is connected to something. Okay, I'm just gonna jump straight to my opinion about this, and then we'll talk, and then maybe give you some food for thought. Okay, so you are going to, the thing is that the amount of news about women today is sickening a little bit, okay? It is disturbing about how much news about women empowerment we're getting. It may feel annoying to some of you. Okay, who thinks that it's too much? You think that it's not too much how? Okay, too much how, meaning that there's now National Geographic's talking about the importance of having just this feminism movement, you know, trying to empower women, trying to talk about women, just women in general. Okay, maybe my news feed is different from yours on Facebook. But
Katie,
sorry?
sorry, I just wanted to get an understanding. Do you mean things like the fact that the the news is focusing not just on women in power, but just generally women's inequalities existing in society?
Exactly. Women's
Okay.
inequalities existing and women empowerment in general, raising
Yeah.
women up above and just saying how great and
Oh, okay.
wonderful they are. Yeah, that's what
Well,
I'm saying.
I actually like it. So I
Okay.
guess I'm, yeah, just one of those that's really happy that the conversation started. And
Yes, I definitely couldn't agree more with you. I couldn't agree more with you. But what I find personally disturbing is that a lot of people are going to, the thing is that most of the people who use social media uh, are going to, because people don't read printed media anymore. Okay? I actually buy National Geographic's magazines, and I actually buy Newsweek magazines, like printed. um, and I also buy Economist printed version, and I read them. I don't read them on Facebook, but I read them like, like a book.
Why
Uh,
printed? Why not from the site, the actual like official site?
I don't know, because I just like to be away from the screen sometimes and just, open and
Yeah,
read
got it. Yeah.
the paper. Okay. Now, and the thing that's happening is I have Kindle. I am very environmentally aware. And because I love books so much, and I realize that the amount of books that I'm buying is actually disturbing. So I have Kindle for that. So I don't buy books anymore. I have Kindle, so I buy like electronic versions right now. But for magazines and for newspapers, I get them delivered. I subscribe in UK and United States, and yeah. Anyway, so the point that I'm trying to make, my personal observation, is that um, people, people subscribe. For example, they click like on National Geographics, and they click like on Washington Post, and they click like on BBC, and all sorts of online publications, Guardian and Economist and Times, etc. But the thing is that they not a lot of people subscribe to those, pay money to actually read them. But you're still gonna, on your Facebook, you're still gonna have articles pop up, yeah. And the articles, in 99% of the time, those articles, they have extremely catchy titles. Okay, even in very respected publications like uh, the Guardian and Washington Post, you're going to have a very catchy title that will make you want to open and read it. Okay, or if you don't read it and you just read the title, you automatically form an opinion. So you just read the article and you form the opinion. You don't bother to read the details. You don't bother to go and critically evaluate what you've read. You don't spend time on validating the information that has been thrown your way. So you immediately form an opinion and then you spread. Okay? Just like coronavirus, you go and spread false stuff. And in a lot of the times, the catchy title and the content of the article are going to be very different from each other. Okay? So the title will say that a weird alien-looking like creature has been spotted in the whatever depths of Indian Ocean, okay? And then you're like, oh my God, aliens are here. They've seen the creature, and who is it? And you're intelligent enough to check the source. So you're like, okay, it's Washington Post. And you're like, oh my God, and it's Washington Post saying it. And, oh, but I'm not subscribed, so I can't read it. But anyway, hell with it. I'm just gonna believe it. So you go and, next time you have a conversation with your friend, you're gonna say, man, I read that article in Washington Post, and guess what? They found an alien-looking creature, like a really, really weird thing in the Indian Ocean. And in reality, what the article will say is that the people went. There was a research crew in Indian Ocean, and they've spotted in the night something very, very strange, and then they attempted to catch it. And when they caught it, it was just an ordinary tuna fish that was in a weird position when they saw it, okay? So that's what I'm...
Excuse me, Professor.
Yes.
Isn't this kind of faking news?
No, that's not faking news. That's grabbing your attention, okay?
Yeah,
That's what they're
exactly.
doing. They're grabbing your attention by giving you a catchy title, and then so to make you want to click open and really want to read. So, and if you want to read, you have to subscribe, and first if you subscribe, you have to pay the money. So it is all those tricks to grab your attention, okay? So that's what I'm trying to say, that many people are not going to subscribe. They're just going to read the title, and they're going to immediately assume that what they read in the title is what really happened. But in reality, if you read the article, it will tell you the opposite, that they thought that it was a weird creature, but in reality, it wasn't. It was just a tuna fish, okay? But you didn't get to read it because you just concentrated on the title itself. You know what you see what I'm getting at? So guys, be wary of the catchy titles, okay?
Couldn't this make any kind of chain? Like, I told my friend I saw this article, except the idea for that I have read only the topic. I have seen this article. It's real. It's by Washington News. It's real, actually. For me, it's real in any certain way. But isn't my friend going to tell his friend, and his friend is going to tell his friend? Isn't this kind of faking something? Is it?
Well, that's what we have right now. That's what we are. That's what we're going through today. This is our reality, okay? And my job here is to make you understand that, okay? My job here is to make you see that what the information that is coming your way is not necessarily accurate all the time, okay? And your job as a human being as an intellectual human being to be able to filter for yourself what you're going to accept and what not. Okay, and in order to decide what you're going to accept and what not, you need to know. You need to have background information and a lot of it. So the reason why I sent you the article about women is, and I was hoping that more people would have read it. But the thing is that, you know, my daughter is 9, and I think that she she wishes that I wasn't her mother because we with this distance learning and everything, she's exposed to computer. Yeah, I raised her so that before the pandemic, she didn't have any access to computer. She didn't know how to use it. She didn't know how to use the phone. She didn't know how to do anything. Okay, but now she has to because she has Zoom classes and she has this school application that she has to check her homework, and et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so now, she's getting it like this. She's super fast and super smart. But together with that, she also sometimes she goes on YouTube, um, and she knows English, so she can search and she can listen, and she also knows Russian very well. So, she can do stuff in both languages. And the information that's coming her way is especially on YouTube because it doesn't get filtered. Anyone can do some stupid um, stunt, for example, or say something that is not necessarily accurate. And a kid, 9-year-old kid who doesn't know any better will just assume that that's the truth. And that's what I tell her all the time is that it's not always accurate what you hear on YouTube, and it's not always just because it's on YouTube, it doesn't mean that it's true. And the same I'm going to tell to you. You should be very, very aware of the information that is coming your way. And again, the reason why I gave you uh, this article is because a lot of information that is circulating has titles like "Give Women More Power" or um, uh, "Women." It kind of makes you feel that women are being abused and disrespected, and uh, you know. Um, if you don't know the history, if you're a small kid, for example, it can do more wrong than good. Yeah. Because what the I do agree that it's time to portray women in a different role, and I absolutely love it that we have more and more movies which show women as powerful. Yeah, and also cartoons where women are not all the time these fragile princesses that can't stand up for themselves, and that for some reason they need a savior, a man who will come and rescue them. I think that this is how it should be done. That the image should change and the perception should change. But the hype that's happening in social media about women empowerment, it's like what's we are getting men haters as a result. we're getting men haters. We're getting women who automatically are going to assume that men are bad, women are better. And uh, that is wrong because we're all equal, we're human beings. And uh, you are supposed to know the history, you are supposed to know the history of evolution, you are supposed to know the physiological differences of a female and male and how all of this began. Okay, why did men have more power? Because we had to reproduce, and women had to women were are giving birth, and we have to care. We used to, at least, had to feed the babies, and we had to stay home, where men had to go and hunt and gather and provide. But yeah, times are changing. Okay. And another thing that we have to realize is that, um, you know, women, only 100 years ago, women got, were first country was, I think it was either Sweden or Finland or Denmark, somewhere in the north, they were allowed to vote. In United States, it was, I think, in 60s or 70s, women were allowed to vote. So all women empowerment didn't happen such a long time ago. It just happened, okay? And we still have a generation of women who think that uh, women are supposed to stay home and take care of the men. We still have a live generation of such women. So we have to be careful with these sort of things. Yeah. uh, how we perceive them, how we understand this kind of information. So that was pretty much my point. Yeah, I am a little bit annoyed with the amount of uh, uh, information circulating on the social media, because I think that it can do a lot of damage to minds of young people who do not know, um, who are not able to analyze yet, who are not able to critically assess the situation. Yeah, so.
I mean, I would like to comment that there is
Yes, please.
it's a bit, you can say, off topic, but there is like a document on
Mm-hmm.
Netflix, I guess. It's called The Social Dilemma.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know it. It's pretty nice. It gave me a better perspective about the situation. And although I deleted my like most of my social media like half a year ago, but it's
Oh,
really good.
wow.
Yeah.
How do you survive?
I mean, I just need WhatsApp to talk with a couple of
Mm-hmm.
friends and family, and pretty much that's it. If I need to know something I would like to read, or like maybe watch a podcast or an ebook or something like that.
Mm-hmm. So you don't use Facebook at all?
I mean, I still have the account, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
have the app itself.
Bravo. My applause to you. Big time. Unfortunately, I can't survive without Facebook because um, I am a member of a trillion groups on Facebook. And I get professional news from Facebook. So I need it. There were a number of attempts when I tried to delete it and not use it. But yeah, But I guess I could delete it from my phone and make it a habit of maybe checking the Facebook once a day from my computer. You're right.
I mean, you can go to your like most smartphones. There is an option in the settings. You can
Mm-hmm.
suspend the app for like some time. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, it's a good like way to start at least doing it. It doesn't have
Mm-hmm.
deleting it like right away, you know.
Vasim, what are you doing here? Oh my God. Hey,
Hi,
Vasim, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be in this class.
I like this class. I'm sorry, but I like it, so I'm gonna stay here.
Okay, stay.
Okay, okay, I'm gonna mute now.
Okay. Okay, guys, Vasim is a student of mine. He took the critical thinking and a bunch of other of my classes. So he's a great guy. He's actually he's going to be an asset to this class because he always brings really interesting ideas and always has something to say. So thank you for coming and being here. Um, what did you say? The products when using social media. Um, there's no point in having them, especially news-wise. Aha,
About the
aha.
social media,
What was that, Nasreen?
the social media.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't have any Facebook account or anything, just WhatsApp to contact with my friends
Good.
only. And I opened an account in Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
new, I opened it,
Mm-hmm.
and I survived without another social media account. Yani, it's not necessary to have all the accounts in social media.
Mm-hmm.
You can have one, two, just that for the social media.
Okay. Thank you. Uh, I really like it when I hear things like that. You're actually giving it some thought. Yeah. But we are kind of all over the place right now. So I just said my opinion about the article and why I think that it's what I connected to. Okay, I connected to the fact that it's a trendy. It has become like a trend. Like before we had homosexual rights. We still have it, but it kind of like cooled down. Yeah. Now we have women, and women is a trend. On top of that, it's racism is coming up again. Yeah, this huge hype that happened in the United States. So next week, I'm gonna send you an article on that exactly what happened in the United States, Black Lives Matter, and I want your opinions on that. Okay, I really do. Okay, Wasim, do you want me to put you in the mailing list?
Yeah, if it's possible, doctor. I don't want to cause you problems, but yeah.
Absolutely no. Absolutely not. You're not causing me any problems. I'm just asking if you would like me to put you in the mailing list or if you want me to send you the articles and stuff. Yeah, so I will make a note of that. Okay. Okay, you guys like the idea. Adam Hisham, okay, you're new here and this is your first class of critical thinking. So welcome, Adam. Where are you from?
Hi, Professor. I'm from Jordan.
I used to have, well, in school, my best friend was from Jordan.
I'm glad to hear that. Maybe we'll have a
Yes.
good relationship too. I do have some about the conversation you were having, but I didn't read the article, so I can't add
It's
on
okay.
anything until I understand everything.
No, we're just thinking, we're just talking about how news affect us, basically. How the news, especially the news on social media, especially those kind of news, how they affect us and how they play on our perception of things that are happening in the world. And this is something important, okay? And I am, the more I speak to people and the more I, now that my kids are, growing up and I see them using it, I see the tremendous effect that it has on perception of reality, on perception of knowledge. I mean, the knowledge in itself is being, how can I say it? The need for knowledge is disappearing.
I'd say, doctor, that social media updates us on trends instead of giving us actual news. They give us biased news, and they just keep the new generation on like negligible trends, in my opinion, that don't contribute to the bigger picture of the world, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah. Also, I think there is a point on dividing us more than like making us
uniting.
Yeah, uniting, accept each other, and better know each other.
Definitely agree with you. So they're manipulating on reality.
Exactly, gaslighting. Basically. Yeah, and it like that. You could say a lot of people grow up knowing false information, and that like Abid said, that separates us more than it unites us, I guess. But yeah.
I couldn't.
In Myanmar, I guess people there actually go to smartphone shops and like PC shops, and they know the internet as Facebook, actually, which is like really disturbing. And there is a lot of problems happening there. And this is an indicator, I guess, that shows us like there is a lot of problem here,
A huge problem. And I am so happy that I hear you speaking this way, because it is extremely important that we have people today who realize this, and that we have people who actually can critically evaluate the situation and say, hey, this is giving me a headache. I have no business in Facebook, so I'm just going to delete it and not use it because I really don't need it. In my case, as I said, I can't delete it because a lot of my professional, what I do, it's part of my professional what I do for a job. Yeah, it's not really my job, but anyway, is connected to Facebook, so I can't delete it. There are groups and there are announcements, and they do a lot of live on Facebook, so I have to. I need it for that. Okay, but I don't get my info, let's say, from Facebook. I know exactly. So it is important that you know why you make decisions. Remember when in one of the first classes we had, I think it was the first one, I told you to think about your shopping, why you buy what you buy. Remember?
Can I add to something like what you just mentioned just now? So like and also I just want to add a bit more about what you were saying, and I just want to
Please do.
About the social media as well, just because personally for me as well, actually I was off social media for some time just due to just a lot of negativity and just of course a lot of false information like them two had mentioned as well. But of course then I looked at social media as like more, I took a step back and I said to myself, okay, the generation, like for example, like like the youth especially, like me, I'm 21, but of course no matter what age you are, everyone's going to be on social media. But it's like from what I see on these whole social and all these media on the internet, etc., a lot of it, okay, yes, can be a lot of false information. But for my own personal thing, from what I had seen recently, is also depends on the type of people and type of accounts you are following too. So for me personally, I'm pretty sure I can speak for all of us. None of us like to listen to false information. Of course, it's very misleading, and it's just very negative in very different ways. But for me, I like to listen to something which is more of a positive output, and people can get together. If that makes sense. So, for example, on Instagram, I tend to follow accounts which is everyone can sort of come together and then sort of let's all interact and just have a nice healthy conversation, rather than it be more negative and misleading people, and of course causing fights and hatred and the comments, a lot of negativity, and causing people to go through depression, which has happened. So yeah, I think it's more or less trying to just create more of a positive environment and following the right people. And of course, whenever you see something negative, of course, like it's for me, I always say it's best to speak to people and not keep it within, because of course, again, it can kill you from inside as well. But this is just from my own personal thing, from what I have seen and realized. So yeah, that's what I can.
I couldn't agree more with you, and I thank you so much for bringing that up.
No problem.
It's very very good insight, and what you just told us. I couldn't exactly, and it all boils down to, guys, at the end of the day, it all boils down to your decision making process, right? Your thinking process. So constantly asking yourself the question, why in your head? Yeah? Yes. And opening your mind about changing your mind. So, why do I use Facebook? Ask yourself that. Then you will have the answer. Then, after that answer, you will have another why question. And then you will have another answer. And then finally, you will have what, for example, I have. And for example, what Suleiman has. Because Suleiman has his answer. And he has it legitimately because he thought about it, okay? He thought about it. He chose his crowd. He chose his sources, and he feels comfortable with them. And he has established a trust with the sources. So that's his, okay? Mine is mine. But before we get there, there is a process that we have to go through, okay? And again, I know that I've repeated myself so many times. Again, I am so happy that I have a bunch of students here who are thinking about this, who are giving this a lot of thought, because we have a lot of mindless usage of social media. And we say that it's mindless, but the effect of mindless using of social media is extremely high. The negative effect on people. Okay?
Doctor, I would say social media is more accusatory and imposing, more than like, here is facts, and you can formulate your own opinion. It's more like, if you don't believe in my opinion, you're like not on trend, or like it's accusatory if you being false.
Yeah, I completely, guys, yes, I agree with you, but it's again, what kind of sources you have, because Facebook is different for everybody. You can choose your Facebook, your news feed. Your
Yeah,
news feed is what your interests are. But like, okay, who has Twitter?
I do.
I do.
I do.
Okay. People have Twitter. I do too, but I never use it. I don't know how. I'm not. Let's say I'm not active. I'm totally not active. Okay. I have this app on my phone because my daughter's school has a group on Facebook, and the teachers post stuff on it, so I have to use it. And again, as I said, I have like professional, but I never like post my pictures, or I never post anything really. Okay, so I'm not like this active. I'm not an influencer or something like that. Anyway, so I don't know if you've heard, but in UK, I'm happy I have people from UK here. There was this thing about gender. Remember, guys? So there was, for male, you were supposed to call them he, for female, she, and then labels. And Michaela, Philip, guys, help me out here. And for was it unidentified, people who didn't know who they are, or
Called non-binary, I think.
Non-binary were supposed to be they, right? And they made it official.
I don't know. I think it's just female, male, and then you have the option to say prefer not to say. I don't think they've got non-binary stuff.
But there was this huge thing, yeah, like in winter, I think.
Yeah,
There was this.
true, but from what I remember, I think it was resolved pretty quickly.
Yes.
Like I just said, it just got changed to male, female, and then say.
But there was a lot of hype about this, yeah. It created a lot of hype worldwide. A lot of opinions started coming through, and oh my God, what's happening with my brain? I keep on J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter author. There was do you know the story that happened to her?
Is it about that Dumbledore is gay and Hermione is black?
No. There
Yes,
was
I
this.
heard a story about that she's a houseless.
No, basically what happened was
Great.
someone that she was following on Twitter, some person of a non-traditional sexual orientation, tweeted that humans. I'm sorry if some of you may feel weird with this word, but it's a medical term. He said that humans who menstruate, blah, 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 something, 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 okay? And then J.K. Rowling commented, yeah. Okay, Vishal, exactly. People, yeah, that was the tweet. And that was her response. So she kind of she opposed. She was kind of shocked that you know, it wasn't okay to refer to women as women anymore. And I mean, it is kind of stupid, okay? Because men don't menstruate. Obviously, it's physiological. It's how we are made biologically. Okay, uh, this is how we're created. Okay, men can't have that, as women can't, exactly the same as women can't ejaculate and we can't have erection, the same as males can't have menstrual cycle, therefore they can have kids, so give birth. That's biology, that's physiology, that's how we're created. There's no controversy in that, okay? We can't argue. There is no right and wrong. It's just how it is, okay? And so why do we have to say like people who menstruate? There's women that, because there's obviously two genders, okay? So she had a problem with that, and she said like whoever forgot the name women or something like that. And then the whole gay community stood up and they started sending her hateful tweets that they're never going to read Harry Potter books again, and they're never going to watch the movies, and that, you know, they used to love the books, but now it's like obviously she's homophobic. That people started calling her homophobic. Yeah, thank you, Vishal, for providing the real so okay, I'm just scanning through. So yeah, that's what happened to her, and so the point here. Okay, Twitter. Okay. Nisha is sending a thread of that incident. Anyway, okay, what do you guys think about this? I mean, is this real? Come on, do we
Katie?
really? Yes.
Just to comment on what happened in the conversation with J.K. Rowling, it was, from my understanding, that the transgender community, the women of the transgender community, who can't menstruate, they don't feel included, because they identify themselves as women. So when she made that comment, she was she offended those people who identify as a woman, but obviously cannot menstruate.
Okay. Now
Don't we like label humans from a biological standpoint like an XX and XY? I think it's a solution for all of those problems.
Okay. It's a good, definitely. It's a good solution. Abdal, definitely.
Let's have it, Professor.
Yes, but what if people don't want to do that? What if people don't want to identify in that way?
Exactly, because people are going to want to identify as transgender, as transgender as what? When you are a transgender, are you a transgender? Or are you a man or female? Why did you change your gender in the first place? To become either a man or a woman, right? What do you guys think? Why do they become transgender?
Well, it
Just like
depends.
really basically, okay?
Like they're not comfortable with the fact.
They're
Like,
not comfortable, but at the end of the day, they change their gender to be more comfortable, right? So
yeah,
what do we call them? Do we call them transgender? Or do we call them what they really want to be? Because they really want to be a man or they really want to be a woman? Why do we still label them as someone weird?
This is too complicated though. An XX is good.
I don't think it's complicated. I think whatever they're recognizing themselves as, they need to be validated and labeled that way. So if you are a woman, born a woman, and you want to be a man, then we are supposed to call you a man.
That's what I'm saying. So why do they want to be transgender? Why do they want to be called transgender?
I don't think all of them do, though, doctor.
But there is a portion that wants to be labeled transgender.
Yeah, well, that's my point. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, because they want to be part of that community. They want to be part of the transgender community.
So and then at the end of the day, what we have is not a united community of people, but we have transsexual, transgender, gay, lesbian, bionic, whatever, I don't know, it's something new. Please update me on this. People who don't know who they are, basically, and then the historical male and female. So we're gonna have all the different communities like that. Yeah.
Doctor, I have a question.
Yes.
Would you defy logic in order to please someone's desires?
Would I be what?
Would you be like? Would you be willing to defy logic, just to like give someone what they want, basically? So if someone wants to be called this and that, would you defy the actual facts and logic of them being a man or a woman, just to not be rude and be good to them, I guess?
Like respectful.
Okay, but who identifies that? Who says that I'm being rude?
No.
Who says that this is what I'm doing? Who says that by defying logic, I am being rude and I am not being just, my actions are not justified?
No, that wasn't my point.
Look, Vasim, what I think about this whole gender stuff that's happening today, what I think is that humanity, not UK, not United States, not France, not Georgia, not Russia, not Azerbaijan, not Jordan, humanity, okay? The planet. What is its course? Where are we going? What's gonna happen to our morals and what our beliefs are? Okay, so if we are, obviously we are in a full-blown globalization situation today, okay, where we have no borders, no boundaries, just information exchange is absolutely overwhelming, yet very controlled. The same is happening with this gender stuff, okay? So
Doctor,
obviously you can't change it. one person like Vasim can't change it, Katie can change it, Michaela can't change it, but we can have our opinion about this, right? And when we have our opinion about this, when we have kids, we will pass that opinion on to our kids. So if we
in my opinion,
yes, please.
In my opinion, everyone should respect others, and you should be acceptable and respectful of others to the point that if they want to be called that, you like out of respect. If you respect them, call them that.
Definitely,
and
I will.
if you have your own subjective opinions, that's like keep them to your own, but you don't have to impose them on others. That's all.
I agree.
That's my point.
Agree with you. I agree with you. That's why I keep my mouth shut about religion. But about this stuff, it's very controversial. Okay, because when we listen to or read issues that non-traditional people with non-traditional sexual orientation have, they all want to be, they all say that we just want to be accepted, and we just want to be happy, and we just want to be normal and be part of the community, and etc., etc. When you say that, please call me transgender, and please call me this, and I am going to form my community of transgenders, and I am going to form my community of gays, and I am going to form my community of lesbians, aren't you kind of contradicting the fact that you just want to be happy and you want to be accepted? No, it means that you want to be in your own little nutshell, and you want to form your own literature, you want to form your own movies, and you want to form your own subculture, okay? So there are a lot. What's that biryani man? What's biryani? What's that, guys?
I think it's something that I came across, which was quite
biryani man.
Yeah, it was quite like a big iconic figure, I think, back in the days.
I heard that name somewhere, but I don't know what that means.
It's from the first lecture, I guess.
Yeah, he's a superhero, according to...
Biryani is a superhero.
Yeah, like,
exactly. He's a superhero.
Yeah, he was quite powerful, actually. I don't know. I don't know if you heard about it back. I don't know. I think it was like a few years ago. I think he was quite powerful. I think in the region of like India, Pakistan area. So, like, I don't know. He was quite, from what I remember, he was quite of a iconic figure. Everyone looked up to him, including myself. He was quite a powerful person. Shooting rice out.
Okay. So yeah, that's what I think. I'm not saying that they shouldn't exist. I'm not a homophobic. I love them. I love people in general, and I don't segregate, and I'm not a racist, and I'm not homophobic. I think people are amazing. I just don't get the idea that why do you want to, just because you have a different hormonal composition in your body, why you want to go and rebel and form.
That segues into another subject about America banning underage people from having sex change surgery. Do you agree with that, or?
Well, it's not really banning. You are not allowed to have because it's not. You don't. I think it's a little bit different. That law works a little bit differently. First of all, it's not in every state. Second of all, because you're underaged, you cannot make your own decision.
Yeah.
Okay. And then also, underaged, your organs are not fully formed. So I think that it's because of some medical complications that can go wrong. Okay. So
Yeah,
that's why you cannot have it until a certain age.
yeah, that's exactly my point when I was talking like previously, doctor, that you can't you have to be logical at some point. You can't defy logic.
Well, Vasim, if you, I am constantly keeping myself, because I have so much to say about this stuff. You also have to realize that during puberty and during teenagehood, our bodies and our mind, not just bodies, but most importantly, the brain, starts functioning in a different way. Okay, there is a developmental stage that a human has to go through. Okay, and that developmental stage finishes in your mid-20s. Okay, close to 30s. Close to 30s, you are a fully formed human being. And during that time, your brain keeps on changing, your hormones keep changing. And especially when you're a teenager, I mean, that's like such such a difficult time,
Challenging. Yes.
challenging time for a kid, because you are a kid, okay? And to have that kind of life-altering decision made at that extremely sensitive period in your life, I think it should be illegal, and United States is absolutely right to, have that kind of limitation in place. So yeah, because there's peer pressure, and in a lot of cases, I mean, I've seen it myself when I was a teenager at my school. People played with their sexuality all the time. There were girls more than boys. uh, there were girls who one day they wanted to be lesbian, one day they wanted to be bisexual, another day, they wanted to be. It's a very unsure period, and yeah, so you have to form and decide. And especially today, because it's out there, and people are talking about it so openly. um
How is it in Georgia? Yeah, people.
Sorry,
How is it in Georgia? People
I
are.
don't know in Georgia, because my childhood was not in Georgia. I didn't live in Georgia when I was a child.
No, I'm talking.
Especially during
People,
when I was a teenager, I was not in Georgia.
yeah,
So
but people are open-minded here about those
it
topics.
depends on the generation. It depends. Young people are definitely very open-minded. But the older generation, like my parents' generation, not very much. Okay. It has a lot to do with the regime that they were brought up in, because it was Soviet Union, communism, and you were not allowed to have gays. But we do have a lot of people with a non-traditional sexual orientation, and
Back in the day, it was all dogmatic, in my opinion. So you can't like. It's really hard, especially when there's no like actual education for the people. It's really hard to teach liberty. So of course, like the older generation is gonna be more
closed-minded. Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and it's difficult to have and it's like Marinov here is saying, so parents should take care of their children, not to be open-minded to such things from your young age. Open-minded, you have to be open-minded about this because exactly open-mindedness. You have to teach your kids to trust themselves, okay? To trust their instincts. Because what this whole experimentation comes from is that they start looking at others and they start following the trends and they start yes, I got what you said, Marinal. And just because somebody's saying that being bisexual is cool, or you're going through a tough period in your life because you're a teenager and you want to rebel, you can rebel in a different way. Okay. Mhm. You can rebel in a different way, not go and damage yourself, basically. Yeah. Okay, guys. So on that note, let's call it a day. I will send you an article. I will do it. I know that this article that I sent you was it was a little bit late, so I will try to do it before the weekend. So for next Thursday. So by next week, make sure that you read it. And thank you for having such a wonderful discussion.
Doctor, just one
Yes.
question.
Yes,
Can I do a presentation when it's time to do one, or am I
Yes.
not allowed to?
Yes, you can do a presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So thank you guys for.
You can do mine if you want.
Thank you for having.
I'll give you my PayPal, $100. Bye.
Thank you guys for
If I
being
do it alone.
wonderful and for keeping really, really, really interesting discussion today. I enjoyed it very, very much. I hope you did too. So keep Rabia, please, try to survive for the next 3 days. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult, but maybe think of all the good that's gonna happen after 3 days. Okay.
I think I will manage.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. And you need to have a place where you can say all the negativity that's happening. And I'm happy to listen anyway.
Thank you so much. But I know exactly what I'm going to do when I'm out of here. I'm gonna take a hot bath and a good massage.
Yeah.
Not in front of the police station, Georgia.
Okay. Cool. Okay, guys. Try to have a nice week. Keep safe. Okay. Don't go outside if you absolutely. I mean, you can go to grocery shopping, but don't use public transport if you absolutely have to. Please be careful and just really take care of yourself because it's spreading. More and more cases are being reported, and please be careful. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Have a nice weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.